Hi, my name is Kevin Stitt, and I'm proud to serve as the 28th governor of Oklahoma. I'm also honored to have the opportunity to speak at the Western Governors Association's annual meeting. We just finished a great session here in Oklahoma. I truly believe we made progress in my quest to make Oklahoma a top 10 state. From education reform to tax cuts to cutting red tape to help small businesses. But today, I want to talk about something that threatens that progress and the very sovereignty of the state of Oklahoma. The 2020 U.S. Supreme Court decision in McGirt versus Oklahoma. Jimcy McGirt was a convicted child molester, and more than 2 decades after his conviction, his lawyers argued the state had no right to arrest, try, or convict him. Their reason? Because he's a member of the Seminole Nation and the crime happened on the historic Muskogee Creek Reservation. In a 5-4 ruling, the Supreme Court agreed. And since then, Oklahoma courts have ruled that 4 more reservations in eastern Oklahoma remain intact. This flies in the face of what we as Oklahomans knew, respected, and valued. For 114 years since our state's founding in 1907, Oklahomans all agreed there were no reservations in Oklahoma. And now the Supreme Court has said reservations cover almost half of our state, including our second largest city of Tulsa with 1 million people. The McGirt ruling has completely destabilized law and order. Oklahoma cannot even evenly and confidently enforce its own criminal laws in nearly half of our state. The new law says that on reservation land, the state has no jurisdiction of crimes committed by or against a native. We also have convicted criminals applying for post-conviction relief based on that decision. Data collected by district attorneys, they estimate there are well over 76,000 McGirt-affected cases. Cases that now must be retried in federal or tribal courts. And that figure only goes back to 2005. These courts simply do not have the manpower to take that on. In fact, the federal courts are so overburdened that they anticipate only prosecuting major crimes involving great bodily injuries for the next 3 to 5 years. This ruling has freed criminals and left citizens, tribal and non-tribal alike, unprotected. I have heard hundreds of stories from Oklahomans about how their lives have been upended by this checkerboard of jurisdiction. And even if you're lucky enough to have your case retried, victims are having to relive the trauma from the worst day of their lives. And a new trial doesn't mean another conviction. We are less and less well equipped to handle this situation, and it could only get worse. We believe this ruling is limited to criminal jurisdiction only, but not everyone agrees with us. And there have already been attempts to expand McGirt to taxation, zoning, and regulation. There are thousands of applications from natives seeking a tribal tax exemption on their taxes. There has never been a bigger issue to hit a state. And since this is now the law of the land, there is a potential for this to be expanded to former reservations in some of your states. I believe we need one set of rules for all 4 million Oklahomans, regardless of your race or where you live. After all, we all benefit from the same roads, we drive on the same roads, we all go to the same schools, and we are hopeful there's a way forward, either back through the courts or through Congress. The sovereignty of Oklahoma depends on it. As Justice Scalia put it, the rule of law is a law of rules. Where rules don't apply equally to all, the rule of law is void. Thank you, and God bless you.